Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Busola. I'm a final year medical student living in Nigeria. I make videos about medical school, health and lifestyle generally. Please hit the subscribe button right now, okay? Hit it right now and check out all my other videos. I'm sure you enjoy them. In today's video, I am going to be gisting you guys about a few things that I hate about medical school. Guys, there are a lot more than this, but in a bid to not discourage or scare some of you guys that may still want to, get admitted to medical school, I have kept them, I've reduced them to just 10 things that I hate about medical school, just so that I won't scare you guys. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Number one thing that I absolutely hate about medical school, vivas. Vivas are oral exams. At the end of every session, we take final exams, and those exams consist of the theory part, the objective part, the clinical part, which is, you may do practicals or bedside exams where you actually clerk a patient and present to the consultant. And lastly, you do vivas, which are oral exams where you face your lecturer, your consultant, your professor directly, and they ask you whatever questions they want to ask you, and you have to answer on the spot. Sometimes it's just one-on-one, it's just you and your examiner. Sometimes it's you and a bunch of examiners just there staring at you and asking you questions and expecting you to provide answers immediately. I absolutely hate that about medical school. I have actually had all the kinds of experiences that you will have for Viva. I've had it. So I've had the extremely good experience where it's just like every question they were asking me, I was firing back, as they were giving it to me, I was giving them back hot.
I'll give it to you hot, goes.
And then there's the one where, I got some questions wrong, but I got most of them right. And then the ones where I just absolutely forgot everything. I don't know, maybe because of tension. Guys, if I tell you that I could not answer, maybe I answered one question out of like 5 questions or something, it was bloody. I think because of that experience, it just made me hate vivas, even though, like it was just like a few times, but still, like, I have PTSD from that experience. And guys, till today, I hate vivas. I do. I really do. The standing. You guys, if you want to become a medical student and you know that you can't stand, if you know that you cannot stand, just don't come. Just don't even bother, because most of the time you are standing. Apart from times when you would have lectures, those are the only times that I can think about that you can sit, maybe lectures and during like meetings, like clinical meetings and whatnot. But for the most part, you are standing. You are standing in the theater. You are standing during ward rounds. You are standing. And the thing is that your superiors are also standing, like the consultants are standing, the registrars are standing, house officers are standing, professors are freaking standing. So you have no excuse to say you want to sit down. Why are you sitting down?
Why?
I really, really hate that because it drains my energy very fast. I can't eat like a bulk of food. I can't eat a lot of food at the same time. So most of the time, whenever I have breakfast, I have like very tiny quantity. And then I go to the hospital and then I'm standing for 4 hours, 5 hours. Of course, I'm going to faint. I've talked about the different times that I fainted in medical school, and it's usually because of standing. Usually, it's because I had been standing for a long time. So yeah, I spoke about that in my Never Have I Ever video. So you should totally check that out. I'll link it here. Number 3, the fact that we don't have any mid-session breaks. So the way people have semesters where it's like first semester and second semester, and in between the first and second semester you have your break where you go home. Medical students don't have that. Once you come for the session like this, you are not going back until the end of that session. For that entire year, you are experiencing bass. Like they are just hitting you left, right, center. You are writing tests, you are going for ward rounds, you are having lectures, throughout for an entire year. There's no time, there's no break for you, except if there are public holidays. Those are the only breaks that you get in between. But apart from that, no breaks. I feel like we should be able to catch a break. At least, in the middle of it, give us a break. But yeah, no, we don't have that. So I absolutely hate that about medical school. Patients. Don't get me wrong, it's not the patients themselves, but their conditions. The hospital is not a place where you come to have fun or you come because all is well. You mostly come to the hospital because something is wrong, except if you are about to give birth, then like it's a great thing. But like apart from that, like most of the time, you don't come to the hospital because all is well. You come because something is wrong, and usually it's life threatening. So yeah, just experiencing that, just seeing patients in that condition where they are very vulnerable. Nigeria is one of the poverty capitals of the world. So a lot of people don't even have money, to even treat their conditions. So it's just hopeless, and most of the time it gets me depressed. Like it actually affects me a lot just seeing people, go through so much, and sometimes eventually they now die at the end, and I'm just like, why? Like, why can't life be like most movies where it's like, okay, if you suffered a lot, then at the end of the day it will end happily? No, like life is not like that. And yeah, in the hospital you get to experience life firsthand, how unfair life is, and I absolutely hate that. Yeah, it triggers me a lot, and I spoke about this also in a video where I spoke about depression in medical school, and I'm going to leave a link to that video here as well. So if you've not checked that out, please check it out. The fact that it is extremely, extremely difficult to have a social life in medical school. The bulk of the things that you have to do, you have to read. Most of the time you're in the hospital, first of all, if it's not like normal posting, you are on call. Most of your days you spend in the hospital learning stuff. And if you are in clinicals, which is like from 400 level and above, even your weekends are not completely for you. Either Sunday or Saturday, you are in the hospital as well on call. So most of the time, you'll just have one day to yourself. And that one day that you have to yourself, there is a bulk of stuff to study. Like the stuff that we have to study is a lot. Like I don't know. I've not found any medical students that has finished the bulk of things that they have to study part time. There's always something to study. The kind of person that I am very multifaceted. Like I have a lot of interests, like a lot of interests, and I know that if I just focus solely on if I give like it's just med school 100%, I will most likely just get depressed. So I fight tooth and nail to maintain my social life in medical school, even though like it's like just bits and pieces here and there where, sometimes after I've had like a stressful couple of months, I just travel for the weekend or something. But yeah, I always try to do that. I always make sure I do that, because if I don't, then I'll get depressed. Then I won't even be able to focus on the medical school well. So yeah, it's very possible for you to maintain a social life, but it is very difficult. You have to do some addition and subtraction and calculating, and just making sure that you're balancing everything properly. Block lectures pretty much are lectures that we have back to back. So in clinicals, before you go into a particular posting, you, like for example, before you go into surgery posting, the first 2 weeks of that posting you just spend listening to lectures, and then the remaining 3 months you are just pretty much shadowing doctors and doing whatever it is they are doing. So those block lectures, like, is from morning till evening. Like, just you're just in a spot and different consultants will be coming to give you lectures, and it can be very boring. Like, it's very hard for you to not sleep, to not doze, to not want to like move around. So yeah, it's just very boring for me. I'm somebody who learns by seeing and doing, and just sitting down for like just 2 weeks at a stretch, just in a class listening to lectures throughout, guys, is insane. And I sleep a lot actually during block lectures. Like, I actually sleep because I just get so bored. But yeah, also there's a good side to it, because you get to learn a lot. Like, the notes that you take during block lectures, you're going to use throughout that posting, and it's going to be very useful. But yeah, at the same time, I don't absolutely hate it. Like, I won't knock it, but yeah, I just don't exactly enjoy it as well. the MB exams. MB exams are pretty much medical board exams, and these exams we take at these are our final exams. What we call final exams, they are MB exams, and before you can go to the next class, you have to pass these exams. MB exams are the most dreaded times for medical students generally. I don't know if you're a medical student and you don't find it dreadful, please let me know in the comment section, because like it's just like that entire 2 3 weeks, it's not for you. Just package your life, just take your life, package it, put it in a box, seal it up, and go to the College of Health Sciences and go to your dean's office, submit it for the next 3 to 4 weeks, and say, you know what, this is my life, take it, I'm not using it again. That's pretty much what we do, because that entire time is not your time. You pretty much don't have a life. You are not doing anything apart from reading for MB and going for MB and worrying about MB and trying to sleep so that you can wake up to read for MB and eating so that you won't fall sick for MB. Like everything, your entire life is MB, you guys. Like, and it's just very dreadful, like just the back-to-back exams, the feeling like I've not finished reading this particular topic, like is the worst. And it's during MB we have vivas as well, so it's just like it's just very crazy. But the best part about MBs is the part where you finish and you get to sleep all day. Like after MB, most of the time I spend like days just sleeping, eating, waking up and watching movies. Like pretty much all I do, and those times are like one of my favorite times ever, because you've earned it. You have worked hard for this, so you've earned it. So like, yeah, those are the best times, the best times. But like while you are inside it, the insults, I don't know about other places in the world, but being in medical school in Nigeria, you can't avoid insults. It's just not possible. They will insult you, like, and I don't know, doctors have the worst insults, you guys. They will insult you in front of everybody, and it's very embarrassing. I am someone who I like to be treated with respect. I guess everybody likes to be treated with respect, but I take it very seriously, and that's why I respect people also. But in medical school, you just can't avoid it. Like those insults will definitely come, and I really hate it. I don't like it. Those are like one of my least favorite parts about medical school, because it's just like, what have I done now? Like, why? But yeah, at the same time, it makes medical school also interesting, because if you go on Twitter and you go check the hashtag my MBBS story, you will see a lot of those insults, and people are making jokes about it, and everybody's laughing, and it's super hilarious. But while it's happening, you guys, it's not funny. Like, it's actually not funny. The cadavers, and I've passed this stage. I'm in my final year in medical school, but in second and third year, you work with cadavers. And the reason why I hate them is not because they are dead bodies. No, the reason why I hate them is because of the quality of cadavers that we used to get in my school. I don't know about everywhere else, but these cadavers are usually just in very terrible condition, like very bad condition. I've seen maggots in a cadaver before. And because they are in that kind of terrible state where they are already decomposing, they have to put a lot of formalin, in these cadavers, and the smell and everything, like, it's just very terrible. I have fainted in the cadaver room before because of the intensity of the formalin. Sometimes you will enter inside the cadaver room and your eyes will be stinging because of the amount of formalin that is there. And formalin is what you use to, all those people who want to kidnap somebody, and you can put formalin on a small cloth, and use it to cover the person's mouth for a bit, for them to inhale it, and then they will just faint. So that's what we keep inhaling every time. It's just very terrible. The last but not least thing that I hate about medical school for this video is the duration it takes, the time it takes for you to become a doctor. Like in Nigeria, it takes 6 years to become a doctor, 6 plus X. Because that X in Nigeria, like, anything can happen, you guys. For example, like, I've been home for the past how many months? 5 months now, because of the pandemic, and Nigeria, online classes don't really work like that. And yeah, so I've been home for 5 months. There was a time earlier in my medical school where I was home for 6 months because ASU was on strike. ASU is like the governing body for lecturers and staff of the university. They were on strike nationwide. Anything can happen. The doctors can go on strike, which happened earlier this year actually. Like consultants went on strike for I think about 3 weeks. NASU, the non-academic staff of universities, can go on strike. The academic staff of university ASU can go on strike. Students body can go on strike. All of these things will just keep adding to your already long, normal people, they spend like 4 or 5 years in university, but you already have 6 years to spend. And then all these unforeseen circumstances will just add. And apart from that, you are not allowed to carry over courses in medical school the way other people are allowed to carry over. In medical school, if you don't pass a particular course, you are waiting. That means you are repeating that year. So that's another thing that can prolong your time in medical school. So it's just a lot. And guys, it is the most frustrating, the most stressful thing ever. I'm going to do a video about how my journey in medical school has been. I don't think I'm there yet mentally to talk about it, but yeah, I'm going to do a video about it. It's a very, 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 very crazy journey, very crazy story. But yeah, I will eventually do it. But yeah, you guys, the duration is just something crazy. You can't just say, oh, okay, I'm entering medical school at age 16 and in the next 6 years I'm going to be a doctor. Guys, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. I don't want to discourage anybody. I am very grateful, very thankful to be here and to be studying to become a doctor. Being a doctor has been my dream for the longest time. So even though it's very stressful and it's like a crazy ride and everything, and I hate so many things about it, I absolutely will be nowhere else. Okay, so if you want to become a medical doctor, don't be discouraged by all of these things that I'm saying. Eventually it's worth it. You will do everything and you do it over and over again because you know that it's your calling, it's what you want, it's your dream. We have come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and yeah, check out all my other videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed. Don't forget to be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.